You know that feeling, right? The ICSE exams are over. And now comes the waiting game. You're sitting there replaying every answer in your head, trying to calculate your score, and just hoping maybe there's some kind of hidden system that might work in your favor. Well, what if I told you there actually is? Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the secret rules of ICSE marking.
I mean, does this sound familiar? That feeling of walking out of the exam hall just completely defeated, convinced the paper was an absolute beast. You are so not alone. This quote, it's straight from a student petition after a crazy tough math exam. It just perfectly captures that feeling of shared panic. But here's the thing. What if that panic is all for nothing?
I want you to just pause and think about this for a second. What if this system that you've been so stressed about is actually built a little differently than you thought? What if the difference between, say, a 70 and an 80 isn't just about getting that final number right? Because believe it or not, there's a real, often unspoken rule in IGCSE marking that completely changes the game. Okay, so before we get into all the unwritten rules, let's quickly cover the official stuff. Let's say you get your results and you're thinking, wait a minute, this just doesn't add up. The ICSE Council actually gives you a couple of formal ways to challenge it. So you've basically got two tools in your toolkit here. First up is rechecking. Think of this as a simple admin check. They're just making sure every question got marked and that all the numbers were added up correctly. Then you've got re-evaluation. This is the big one. A totally new examiner takes your paper and marks it all over again, from scratch. The main differences here really come down to price and purpose. Rechecking is cheaper and it's just there to catch any simple totaling mistakes. Reevaluation, on the other hand, costs more, but it's a full-on fresh look at your entire paper. And here's a key thing to know about the timeline. You can only apply for a reevaluation after you get your rechecking results back. So those are your official moves. All right, that's the official playbook. Now let's get to the reason you're really here. We're talking about the unwritten rules, the cheat codes, if you will, that are baked right into the marking process and can make a massive difference in your final score. Okay, so the single most important rule you need to understand is step marking. The ICSE system isn't just an all-or-nothing game based on your final answer. No, it's about the journey, not just the destination. Examiners are literally trained to give you marks for each correct step you take. That means you can rack up points even if your final solution is way off. In fact, to make this idea really stick, let's give it a name. Let's call it the 2/3 rule. This simple little hack, especially for number problems in subjects like physics or math, can be a total game changer. It's the secret to getting marks even when you're 100% sure you messed up the final answer. So how does it work? It's actually incredibly simple. Most 3-mark numericals are broken down like this. Step 1, you write down the correct formula. Boom! That's 1 mark right there. Step 2, you substitute the correct values into that formula. Guess what? That's another mark. Just like that, you've already banked 2/3 of the marks for that question, and you haven't even touched a calculator yet. But wait, step marking is just one piece of the puzzle. Now it's time to talk about that magical phrase every student loves to hear, bonus marks. And I'm here to tell you they are not a myth. But what a lot of people don't get is that bonus marks is actually an umbrella term for a few different safety nets built right into the system. So where do these magical marks actually come from? Well, first, you get grace marks if a question on the paper was just flat out wrong or super confusing. Second, there's something called moderation, which basically adjusts the scores if a paper was way harder than usual. Third, there's often just a general policy of lenient correction. And finally, that step marking we just talked about, that's also part of this whole bonus system. Let's look at a real-world example so you know I'm not making this up. In a recent chemistry exam, there was a multiple-choice question about chlorine that had a mistake in it. So what happened? The council just gave 1 bonus mark to every single student who even attempted it. It didn't matter what answer they picked. And it can get even bigger than that. After one particularly brutal physics paper, an analyst came out and revealed that there were, and I quote, 4 marks in Section A and 4 marks in Section B available as bonus points. That's 8 potential bonus marks on a single paper. That's not just a little help. That's a massive game-changing boost. So who do these bonus marks and lenient policies help the most? Well, the data shows that the biggest jumps in percentages go to students scoring in the lower and middle ranges. For someone who's maybe hovering near the passing line, this can be a huge lift. But for the top students already getting 90s, the impact is pretty small, maybe just a mark here or there.
Okay, so now you know what's really going on behind the scenes. You have this insider knowledge. So, how should this change your strategy? How can you use this information to absolutely master the game? If you take away only one thing from this whole explainer, let it be this quote from a senior moderator. The only real mistake you can make, the one thing they can't forgive, is leaving an answer blank. An empty space on your paper is a guaranteed zero, but any attempt at all, opens the door for the examiner to give you marks. This should completely change how you approach your exams. It's not about frantically trying to get every single answer perfect. It's about calmly and clearly showing what you know, one step at a time. Just remember those safety nets: step marking, moderation, bonus marks. They're all there, designed to reward your effort and their knowledge. So now you know. The system isn't designed to punish you, it's designed to reward your process. It's not just about perfection. You know the hidden rules. So the only question left is, how are you going to play the game?